The Indiana Fever is America's team. The haters, by the time this season is over, their heads are going to have exploded already. They're going to be so angry by the end of this WNBA season. It's going to be hilarious watching the daily melt.
The Indiana Fever has officially taken over, not just as a good team, not just as an exciting team, but as America's team. The numbers don't lie. The Fever went from playing in front of half-empty arenas to selling out venues across the country. Games that barely made TV before, now 41 out of 44 games are airing nationally. That's unheard of. And if you think this is just a lucky break or some random trend, think again. Caitlin Clark is the reason. Her arrival has flipped the entire WNBA upside down. Teams that used to ignore the Fever, now they're scrambling to book NBA arenas just to fit the massive crowd she brings in. Of course, not everyone is happy. The haters are watching this unfold, and by the time this season is over, they're going to be livid. They tried to downplay her impact, they tried to pretend she wasn't changing the game, but history just got rewritten again, and there's nothing they can do about it. This isn't hype, this isn't just a media push. The Fever are the most popular team in the WNBA because of Caitlin Clark, and the numbers prove it.
So much passion to the game, and look at all these people that just want to come.
WNBA attendance is at a 20-year high, and the Fever are leading the charge. The league saw a 48% jump in attendance from 2023 to 2024, almost half of the WNBA's national TV revenue generated by Fever games alone. And the craziest part? 6 teams have had to upgrade to NBA arenas just to handle the demand whenever Clark is in town. Chicago, Dallas, Atlanta, Connecticut, all of them had to move to bigger venues because Clark brings in so many fans. Let that sink in. Teams that have been in the league for decades never had to do this. But the moment Clark arrives, the WNBA can't ignore the demand anymore. And for those trying to act like this is just some momentary boost, think again. This isn't a hot streak, it's a full-blown revolution. Caitlin Clark didn't just make Indiana the center of women's basketball, she's dragging the entire league to new heights. The WNBA fought for years to get mainstream attention, but Clark showed up and made it happen overnight. Haters can complain all they want, but the reality is clear. Caitlin Clark is the WNBA's biggest star, and thanks to her, the Indiana Fever aren't just a team anymore, they're a national phenomenon. If you want proof that Caitlin Clark has changed the game, look no further than the stands. The Indiana Fever went from playing in front of empty seats to packed arenas every single night, home and away. Before Clark arrived, the Fever's attendance was nothing special. In 2023, they averaged 4,000 to 5,000 fans per game, and some matchups barely filled half the stadium. Now, they're selling out everywhere. Gainbridge Fieldhouse, home of the Fever, has already sold out its entire season, a first in franchise history.
That the Indiana Fever are the most popular team in the WNBA. It is good for the entire WNBA.
And it's not just Indiana. Whenever the Fever goes on the road, teams move games to bigger venues to handle the demand. Chicago had to switch from Wintrust Arena, 10,000 seats, to the United Center, 21,000 seats for Clark's arrival. Dallas moved to the American Airlines Center instead of their smaller home court. Atlanta, Connecticut, and even Washington all upgraded arenas just for Caitlin Clark. The numbers are staggering. The WNBA saw a 48% increase in attendance in 2024, and the Fever is leading the charge. Wherever they go, record-breaking crowds follow. The WNBA used to struggle to get national TV time. Now, thanks to Caitlin Clark, the Fever is must-watch television. Before Clark, Indiana had 0 national TV games scheduled in 2023. This year, 41 out of 44 games are being aired across ESPN, ABC, CBS, and Amazon. That's more than any other team. Networks aren't just showing Fever games, they're building their entire WNBA coverage around Clark. ESPN, which rarely covered women's basketball outside of the playoffs, now runs daily segments on the Fever. SportsCenter, constant Caitlin Clark highlights. Even NBA players are tuning in and talking about her impact. The ratings? Through the roof. The WNBA's opening weekend in 2024 had its highest viewership in 2 decades, and the Fever's games led the way. The league is experiencing a massive boom in TV revenue, all because one player made it must-watch television. The Fever isn't just a good team, they're the face of the league. Every network wants a piece of the Caitlin Clark effect, and as long as she's on the court, the Fever will be America's team on TV. It all started in college when Clark's Iowa Hawkeyes and Reese's LSU Tigers clashed in the 2023 NCAA championship game. Reese's famous "You Can't See Me" taunt toward Clark went viral, turning their matchup into a must-watch drama. When they met again in the 2024 NCAA tournament, the hype was even bigger, with Clark leading Iowa to a revenge win.
A record-breaking high in 20 years, with a total of 2.3 million fans attending games. You know what the increase was from 2024 to 2023 in attendance? 48%.
Now they're both in the WNBA, and the rivalry is hotter than ever. Every Fever vs. Sky matchup is packed with intensity, drama, and massive ratings. Fans take sides, some backing Clark's deep threes and flashy passes, others loving Reese's physicality and fearless attitude. But here's the thing, they're both winning. Their rivalry has elevated the entire WNBA, drawing in new fans, new sponsors, and record-breaking viewership. It's Magic vs. Bird all over again. Two superstars with opposite styles driving the league to new heights. Since joining the WNBA, Clark has boosted ticket sales, merchandise, TV ratings, and even local economies. Whenever the Fever hit the road, hotels, restaurants, and bars fill up with fans wanting to see her in action. Teams that used to struggle to sell tickets are now experiencing record-breaking attendance. A Fever game isn't just a basketball event, it's a financial boom for every city they visit. Sponsors? They're lining up. The WNBA has seen a surge in corporate deals, from Nike and Gatorade to State Farm and Wilson. The league's revenue is skyrocketing, and much of it is thanks to Clark's impact.
That Caitlin Clark doesn't get injured, because she's keeping your league afloat.
One player has turned an entire league into a money-making machine. Her Fever jersey sold out within hours of release, and demand hasn't slowed down. Fans can't get enough, whether it's jerseys, t-shirts, hoodies, or even custom shoes. Every Fever game is packed with people rocking Clark's name and number. The WNBA's merchandise sales have exploded, and Clark is leading the charge. In fact, she's outselling some NBA stars. Her impact isn't just felt on the court, it's showing up in the league's bottom line. And this is only the start. As brands fight for a piece of the Caitlin Clark effect, expect her to break even more records in endorsements and sales. Clark isn't just dominating basketball, she's dominating the business of basketball. From the moment she stepped onto a WNBA court, the league hasn't been the same. Attendance records are falling, TV ratings are soaring, and the economy surrounding women's basketball is booming. Fans, both longtime supporters and brand new ones, are showing up in droves, eager to witness history in real time. But the Caitlin Clark effect goes beyond numbers. It's about changing the way people view women's basketball. For years, the WNBA fought for respect, recognition, and the kind of attention that men's sports automatically receive. Now, thanks in part to Clark's generational talent and electric play style, the league is getting exactly that. The conversation has shifted. People aren't asking whether women's basketball is worth watching anymore. They're tuning in, buying tickets, and debating every play. Her impact isn't limited to the WNBA. Young girls everywhere are picking up basketballs, inspired by Clark's deep three-pointers, no-look passes, and fearless confidence. Youth basketball programs are seeing a surge in participation, and Clark's influence is shaping the future of the sport at every level.
Caitlin Clark once again dominates WNBA national TV schedule.
Sponsors and media executives have taken notice too. The Fever's national TV schedule is proof that Clark is a ratings juggernaut. Every network wants a piece of the action, and advertisers are pouring in money to be associated with her. She's not just elevating herself, she's lifting an entire league, creating financial opportunities for her teammates and future generations of WNBA players. The best part? She's just getting started. Clark is only in her rookie season, and she already has the sports world in a chokehold. Imagine what will happen as she grows into her prime. More records will fall, more rivalries will emerge, more fans will join the ride. At this point, resisting the Caitlin Clark effect is impossible. Whether you love her or root against her, one thing is clear: you're watching.